Ladies and gentlemen, over a year ago I did my best in class series, going through all the classes in Assassin's Creed Rebellion and basically explaining about the heroes and telling you who's great in the class and who's not. Since then we've had an influx of heroes left, right and centre. So we're going to revisit this topic. So let me know in the comment section what class you would like to see next. Today we are focusing on the Assassin's class. And if you are new to the game, new to the channel, or you've watched one of these videos before, hit the sub button. Nobody does ACR like I do. We do hero giveaways, we do live streams, we do even live podcasts. So make sure you subscribe with your notifications on and smash that like button as well. Right, so the Assassin's class, let's get into it. There's been 2 new additions since I did the last video, and they're quite good additions. So we're going to run through them in order as they appear on the screen, just so there's no confusion. And yeah, basically I'm just going to tell you a little bit about the hero, go through it, explain the pros and cons and whether they're viable in the game or not. So first of all, we'll start off with Basim, one of the newer heroes to enter the Rebellion. He is basically, in my eyes, Altair. Yeah, basically a mixture of Altair and Maria. He's got Assassin's Master, so can assassinate people, execute as well. Altair's got that ability, always handy for getting yourself out of a sticky situation. You can obviously use it, take out a high health enemy in one hit and just, yeah, kind of can save your playthrough a little bit. Free run ability as well, not too bad agility, you can get around the map, so assassination, getting around the map, all good. He's got the smoke bomb ability as well, which, like Maria, when you use it, it takes you out of the room, you regain some health. So if you do fail an assassination and you're quite low health, you can't quite take out the enemy, you can pull yourself back, get a little bit of health and send in a tank or somebody like that who can probably take on the job for you. He's got tactical strike, so I think this is one just for him. So this is kind of his signature ability where he strikes an enemy for a percentage of damage. Obviously I'm not going to read it out of this is a 2-star. And yeah, basically it just increases his attack and dodge, and you can stack this multiple times. So the more times you stack this, the more damage you're going to do and the more dodge you're going to get up. So all round, not a bad hero. Can equip T5 gear, not a problem. So he's got his own legendary weapon as well. So everything's pretty good with Basim. Obviously still not able to get him as a 5-star because the campaign hasn't finished, but yeah, when you can, I think he's going to be a very, very good hero to add into the mix. He looks awesome as well. Right, Mattio. He's a common hero. He's very basic. He's all right though. I know he's a little bit of a fan favourite with certain people. He's not the best, but he's not the worst either. He can assassinate, no free run ability. He's got this passive here, so critical strike is increased and his defences as well. That's permanent. And when you enter battle, you've got a 50% chance that your attack is increased for 2 ticks. So all in all, not bad. I think you can now equip, yeah, can you equip T5 armor now? Yes, so you can T5 him out, which just makes him do a little bit more damage. Obviously makes them lethality checks very good. And yeah, all in all, not a bad hero starting out the game. So yeah, not a bad little common hero. Syed, this dude needs a T5 weapon massively. He can equip the Marmaden Spear, which does obviously give him the T5 weapon, but it's not specific to him. It doesn't benefit him. For example, his lethality he doesn't gain from that, but he can take out multiple enemies at the same time. Nice bit of damage. He's yeah, so you can increase your agility or somebody else's agility. So he's a little bit of support in there. He can assassinate, and this can take out multiple heroes. So if you've so if you've got 2 in front of you, you can just take the pair of them out. Well, do damage to the pair of them. So it's always nice. Not a bad rare hero, easily obtainable. But I would love to see him get his own little T5 weapon, just because he can be a pretty sick hero. Right, Aguilar. Very, 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 very good rare hero. If you've completed the game and got his legendary weapon, the Rebellion Edge, he is absolutely immense. Throwing knifes, amazing. Gives you initiative. always good to get initiative. It just means that you're not taking damage on that first hit. So you flick a throwing knife at them if they're facing you. If they're not, you can assassinate them. But yeah, you can just get that little bit of damage off, get yourself initiative. He can use this ability here where he attacks twice, so for 115% of his damage. And obviously with his legendary weapon, he's the only one that isn't a legendary that has his own weapon specifically. You can do a nice bit of damage. So all in all, he's not a bad hero, especially considering he's a rare hero. Not much without the legendary weapon, truth be told. He's a bit average, but when he's got his Rebellion's Edge, very good hero, and a very good hero early game as well. Can obviously get you round the map as well because he's got the free runner ability as well. Right, Magda Dahlia, not really much. She can sneak past people. She can assassinate. Her lethality isn't the best. She can poison people. She's okay for a rare hero. If you get her at the start of the game, you can probably use her. But getting to end game, no, you're going to be leaving her miles behind. Far better heroes in the class than her. So, yeah, not one that you really want to concentrate too much on. But she's level 50 for me. Right, Luciano. This hero is kind of... He's more important not using him, if that makes sense. He's very good in the training room. When you have him as a 5-star, he is... his training, it's so cheap. Basically, if you put somebody in the room with him when he's 5-star, you can train 1,270 XP for only 100 coins. So a lot of people use him. He hasn't left my training room for God knows how long now. He's always in there. If you want to get them cheap little rank ups and you log into the game quite often, just a great way of getting your heroes up for literally 100 coins. So 100 coins per go. So very handy in the HQ room. And apologies if I do look slightly flustered, but it has been 30 degrees here in the UK all day long. And yeah, I've had enough of it. Right. This is a little bit of a different assassination compared to others. His lethality isn't the best, but when he does assassinate somebody, it increases his attack by 70%. So if you get that assassination off, in your next fight, you're going to be hitting harder. This stun is absolutely brutal. It does very little damage, but it leaves them stunned for an eternity. So just, yeah, I mean, they can literally stand there wobbling all day long. Broken stun, very good to get off. It just lets you hit the enemy over and over and over again without taking any damage. He's got the free run ability, not the best agility in the world, but he's handy. He can get you around the map at times. It's always handy. Passive ability, lethality is permanently increased by 20%. But this is the one that you want. Poison coated blades would inject harmful venom into the enemy's bloodstream. So every time you crit with Luciano, you apply poison that inflicts 150% damage when he's at 5-star, over 10 ticks. So if you can crit when they're stunned, all that time they're stunned, they're taking poison damage as well. And obviously you're just hitting them. The poison's taking them down as well. So you can melt through enemies pretty quickly. Only a level 46 because I don't want to get him to 50 because then I can't do the XP trick. Dwaali, fantastic addition to the game. Absolute amazing hero. So much toolkit available to him. He can free run. He can assassinate, he can stun, he can take out multiple enemies. He can absolutely hit like a truck at the cost of health, but take a healer in with you, you're as good, you're as good as gold. Absolutely golden. So he's got the blunderbuss here. I think I always call it the blunderbuster, but it's the blunderbuss. So all enemies for 250% damage. If this crits, absolute happy days. You're doing a massive amount of damage to the enemy. You can free run, can assassinate. Lethality is very, very good. Very good. So, yeah, he doesn't really have too much problem assassinating. His agility isn't the best, but it's passable. You can obviously elite train these heroes to improve certain aspects of them. So putting a little bit of elite training into his agility isn't a bad thing. This is absolutely broken. The firecracker stuns an enemy for 3 ticks. I've stun locked Tornado, the end boss in Story 28 with this. I don't know why, it just seems to go on forever. And you can just get off some insane damage, basically hit the enemy without them even knowing, really. They're just stunned for the majority of it. He's got his own legendary weapon as well, which just makes Reckless Assault hit even harder. So he hits for 300% of his attack. If that crits, you're having a fun time, a really fun time. But you do lose 5% of your health. Not the biggest health pool, but as I said, take a healer in with you and you are as good as gold. He will do absolute so much damage for you. Here's his legendary weapon, the Liberator. It gives you an extra blunderbuss charge as well. So all in all, just very good hero. One I would prioritise. Izak, probably one of the best looking heroes in the game. Look at him, he looks like an absolute monster. Absolutely love him. He's got his own legendary weapon, the Viscer's Eye. Only problem is he doesn't have T5 armor, which is a massive letdown. He's just not as tanky. With that, he would be absolutely immense. Again, very good in the HQ. He's got the same perk as Luciano, but at 4-star, you can obviously do the XP trick. So if you've got Izak at 4-star, stick him in a training room. The hero you put in next to him to train up, you can get 1,270 XP for 100 coins. Once you go above that, it starts just going up to more or less the normal price. But yeah, if you do that little trick, you're as good as gold. This throwing knife, amazing, absolutely amazing. Deals 130% damage, gives you initiative, plus pots of bleed on them as well for 6 ticks. So they're just melting, literally melting as you're playing, as you're fighting them. Not bad lethality, not bad at all. This hits every single enemy in front of you, so great for obviously taking out multiple enemies. His agility is shocking. He's meant to have every art. Well, hopefully one day he will have a legendary, a T5 piece of armor. But yeah, he's not designed to get you around the map. He's a very good assassin that can do some very, very good damage. He's a very good hero, and just missing that T5 gear or the armor just puts him down a little bit. It's the only thing that stops this hero from being a god tier hero to a very good hero. So he's got this as well, where at the start of combat, 50% chance to increase your attack and your defense. You're just taking less damage, dealing more out. With that combined with the throwing knife damage you do, just insane. Just absolute phenomenal hero. Hits like a truck, can assassinate pretty well. But yeah, his agility is just extremely shocking. Darius, I like this hero. He's not the best. He needs his own T5 weapon, but he hasn't got that. He's got his own T5 armor, but I prefer running the normal T5 armor over his legendary armor, because the other armor gives you a little bit more crit, and that's what Darius is about. Is about critting. For an old man, very fast-paced hero. Agility isn't the best. His lethality, second to none. You will not really struggle to assassinate an enemy around the map. If you do, just throw, you literally need 1 or 2 elite training into him, and that 95% will be more or less guaranteed in any content you do. He's got the Deriva kick, which strikes for 75% damage and reduces the enemy's defense for 100% for the next attack. So that means that you are basically doing double damage. Deadly strikes for 125% damage, with critical chance increased by 30%, which decays over 3 ticks, but this recharges after 3 ticks. So you can constantly recycle this in battle, but he is a bit of a crit machine if you can get him going. Execute as well, can't complain with that. Can take out an enemy with a single blow. Anybody who's used him in the Raven's Wound event, when he was commonly like one of the heroes before they put the randomizer in, you'd get to the last boss on GM5, execute him, done. See you later. It's literally all you needed him for. You just have a Lexus clear the way for you, get to the last room, send Darius in, execute, game over. You've won the video game. But yeah, you kind of want to get the Deriva kick off, then get this off, and just start critting, and you start doing some very, very good damage. He's got a passive ability here where 25% chance to increase critical chance for 15%, which is nice. Obviously, as I said, if you get this off and you get that off, all the crit just starts building up and you're just going to start doing some very good damage. And his dodge is increased by 7% permanently. And if he does dodge, you gain an attack bonus, which again, with the crits, just makes him a very nice, hard-hitting assassin. Obviously, the assassins are part. Well, Izak, if he had his T5 armor, would be alright, but they're not designed to just wipe through a level, beating everybody up. They're very flimsy. They can take a couple of hits, but it's all about the assassinating and using your abilities to obviously sneak up behind somebody, get these little abilities off, and get out kind of with unscathed. So yeah, don't take assassins in for a fist fight because it's not going to end well for you. Najmar. She's this close to being an absolute perfect hero, but she doesn't have a legendary weapon. She can assassinate extremely well. She can lockpick very well, disarm traps very well. So, and this attack here only strikes for 40% damage, but the bleed just melts them as well. And she's also got a passive ability here, which also poisons people. So if you critical strike somebody, you poison them as well, just like Luciano. So you can have the poison and the bleed running at the same time, and it just absolutely melts them. But her damage output is so poor because she can only have a normal T5 weapon. And yeah, she's just one legendary weapon away from being an absolute phenomenal hero. But she just lacks just that little bit. That's the only thing that lets her down. She just doesn't do much damage. Obviously can't take too many hits. So unless you can get an assassination off or kind of sneak up to a low health enemy, yeah, you're not going to have a fun time. But yeah, very good hero, worth getting. Is it Jara? I think that's how you pronounce it. I think a load of people pronounce it differently. Not a bad hero. She gets quite a lot of flack, but she's not bad in my eyes. She can assassinate very well. She's got the Grandmaster ability as well. So these are 100% guaranteed. So for 2 checks throughout the map, you're guaranteed at least 2 assassinations. You can't fail them. Free runner can get you around the map, quite nice. This ability is decent, inflicts 100% damage and reduces enemy's health by 30% over the duration of 5 ticks. So just, yeah, it's another damage over time effect. While you're hitting them, they're just slowly losing health. It's not a bad time when that happens. She can handle herself in a fight fairly decently. Clear the fog of war, so you can choose if you're new to the game and you're not 100% sure what's in the next room or, you know, how the map lies. You can use this if you want to find chests, if you want to see the room that's kind of fogged and you want to know how many enemies are in there before you enter it. This helps you out. It helps you just plan forward a little bit when you're going through the map. Here, agility is permanently increased by 21% and entering combat, 50% chance to increase dodge by 20%. It's always nice. It's not guaranteed, but it's always nice. And lethality is basically increased by 20% all the time. Come on, go over to the next one. Right, for me, the best assassin in the game, and his legendary weapon made him that. Before his legendary weapon, he was extremely average, but giving him his legendary weapon just made his damage output that little bit better. Just kind of gave him the toolkit just to round him off into a very nice hero. His lethality, you will not struggle to assassinate anybody on the map with a 95% chance. Again, you can put a bit of elite training into it as well. Him, Ezio and Darius, I believe, have the equal highest lethality in the game. So very good free runner. Fry knife ability. This is what separates him from everybody else. The fact that you can get initiative and then just start attacking just makes the world of difference. You do not understand how many of them little hits just chip away on, especially considering they're flimsy heroes with not much HP. Getting initiative and getting a little bit of damage off, then getting your attack off, just saves your health so much. It's so valuable. And that's what makes him, in my eyes, the best assassin in the game. Executability as well, just like Basim and Darius, you can execute an enemy regardless of their health pool. So for example, I've got him to Tornado before. You just walk up to Tornado as long as you can survive a hit, or you can throw a knife for Tornado, actually get initiative, execute him, he doesn't touch you. You've taken a 25k enemy out in seconds. Passive ability, so boosts all your allies' lethality and agility by 10% while this hero's alive. So having him on your team just helps people who have to do navigation checks do it that little bit better. And obviously any other assassin that's on your team, it gives them a little bit of boost to their lethality as well. And initiative increases dodge by 12% until the end of combat and gains a 25% chance to strike twice. With your throwing knife, you should always get initiative. There isn't a single, unless you fail a check and get ambushed, whenever you can go and attack an enemy, if you use your throwing knife, this is it. You get your initiative up, your dodges increase, you're taking less damage because they're not hitting you as much, and you can hit twice, which just obviously makes a world of difference. Just being able to get 2 attacks off at the same time, just double damage. If both of them crit, you're absolutely laughing. So very, very good hero, my favourite from the franchise really. But the weapon that they gave him, the Sword of Altair, turned him into an absolute noodle, because he used to have the T5 Greek weapon, which is there, as you can see, the attack 1.3 to 1.4k. You go over here, it's up to 2.4 to 2.5k. His defenses are better, his crit chance is better, and his crit damage is just so much better, and it gives him extra charges for his free run and assassinating as well, so you can just assassinate more and get around the map more. So yeah, for me, top of the class, best assassin in the game. Ezio, fan favourite, one of mine. Assassin's Creed 2 and Brotherhood are probably my favourite Assassin's Creed games. Absolutely adore Ezio. Only problem is he's very basic, very basic. Because he was introduced into the game very early, obviously at the start, I do feel like now that they've kind of experimented with different heroes. They've brought in like ranged weapons, like Kenway's got, the brace of pistols. Dwaali's got his blunderbuss. There's just, I think the creativity of the new heroes have got very, very creative. And unfortunately, Ezio, being in the game from the start, is just extremely basic. Grandmaster ability, assassination here. So guaranteed to assassinate somebody twice without failing. So 100% check, always good to have. Free running, agility, getting around the map, very good. Gets you around the map very safely, very nicely. Assassin, he's got the assassin skill. 95% checks more or less all round. Very, lethality, not an issue. This ability here, very, very, very good, but it is bugged. Counter attack, it used to work where you couldn't activate it until you got hit. Obviously, it's a counter attack, but now you can just unleash it straight away. So if someone's got their back to you, you can go up and ping this off. So instantly strikes for 175% damage with a 7.5% chance to instantly kill the enemy. I killed Tornado with this. Wasn't recording it, it was through testing, and then when I did my Altair versus Ezio video, it didn't work out. He got his arse handed to him. But all in all, for an assassin, he's very tanky. He's actually one of the very few assassins that can actually take a hit. He can take it very well. He's got the passive ability here as well. So strikes received increased dodge by 6%. So every time basically if you take 5 hits, you've got an extra 30% dodge chance. So it just means that they're hitting you less the lower health you get. Upon entering combat, 25% chance to buff defenses by 30% for 4 ticks. This is what makes him even more tanky. And all in all, a very good hero, but just outclassed, I think, by some newer imaginative heroes. Like for me, I'd take in Dwaali and I'd take in Altair over Ezio, just because they've got a bit more of a toolkit about him. And Ezio, unfortunately, is very basic. but still a very good hero to get. And obviously people aren't going to complain having Ezio on their roster. And Maria was the best assassin in the game because of her evasive mending was broken. So she'd just dodge left, right and centre, constantly heal herself. Just an absolute monster. You never bothered assassinating people or sneaking past them. You just literally just used to go into a fight with them. I used to equip a T4 belt to her to increase her attack rather than her lethality, because she was just absolutely broken. So you've got this ability here. So strikes for 50% damage and inflicts a 900% poison damage over 12 ticks. So they're melting literally as you're hitting them, absolutely just falling apart. Assassination, stealth, so she can obviously sneak past people. The smoke bomb, so restores yourself back out the room, restores 25% of your health. You can obviously heal her up with a healer as well once you get her out the room. But this ability here, evasive mending, dodging gives 15% health, used to be absolutely broken. Then it went the complete opposite way where she wasn't dodging. It's now working as intended. She's still a very good hero, but nothing like the broken Maria I enjoyed for so long. The amount of elite training I put in her dodge was just fantastic. And obviously dodge is increased by 25% when fighting multiple enemies, and then gains a 25% chance of this occurring against a single enemy. So when you go up against two enemies at the same time, your dodge is increased. If you go up against a single enemy, there's a 25% chance that it will occur. So if that happens, happy days, you're dodging, you're healing, it's all good. She will literally last in a fight forever if that's the case, but she's not the hero she used to be. And that takes us back to Basim. So, yeah, quick recap for me. Altair, best assassin in the game, followed by Dwaali, and then it's between Maria and Ezio. Maria would have been hands down the best assassin in the game if her evasive mending was how it was. She was broken. She was a fantastic hero, probably the best hero in the game, but put her back to how she should be, and yeah, she falls. She get you out of trouble, but yeah, she's, for me, her and Ezio are third and fourth, and then you've just got the rest. So yeah, they're the heroes. Basim, I think, will be up there. I think Basim could be a solid second or third, really, but until I get him 5-star and can test him out properly, it's hard to tell. But yeah, that is it. So best in class goes to Altair. I hope you enjoyed this episode, and I hope you continue to support the series. Good night, Assassins. You stay safe, and I'll see you in the next video. Good night.